We are at the cusp of a monumental shift in traditional financial markets. Traditional markets around the world are getting inflated to the point of implosion. And to illustrate this, watch this clip. Watch financial advisor Peter Toogood, who's just too good. He goes on CNBC and he almost loses himself a job. This guy, he's supposed to go on TV and give financial advice, as in, I would buy this, I would sell this. Obviously he puts his reputation on the line. He goes on CNBC and he tells the hosts to buy anything. He says buy everything. Yes, he says the fundamentals are unbelievably crap for traditional markets. He says that doesn't matter. The markets just keep pumping higher and higher and higher. This is good for Bitcoin.
Oh God, yes, of course you do. There's just money everywhere. Keep going.
So I want to own risk assets.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the US?
Everywhere.
Emerging?
Everywhere.
Developed
This has
market?
nothing to do with fundamentals anymore.
Right.
Fill your boots. Why not?
Because
400, 500 billion from the Fed, reverse course. So let's get it right. This time last year, the Fed were in tightening mode. All going to do QT from QE. Let's do all that. Then they don't do that. And then they decide the interest rates aren't going up. And then they decide the repo market's collapsing in September. So they decide to start flooding that to make sure. Not QE, by the way, of course. Absolutely not QE. Something totally different from QE. And we'll just keep pumping. And we'll just keep pumping. And we'll just keep pumping because it's worked for the last 8 years, and we'll keep going again. So no, the answer is quite simple. All CTAs have gone long. Most macro funds have gone long. The biggest engines in London, I know for a fact, are as long as they can be. Vol is on the floor. Keep going. Until you don't, until the music stops. It is, I'm being incredibly flippant, but for a very good reason. There is no logic to any of this other than chase the gilded lily. It's nuts.
So when do earnings and growth and valuations become an issue?
Are they relevant, earnings anymore?
You're talking yourself out of a job here.
I don't care. It's not my job.
just buy it. But I hear exactly what you're saying, and I think I'm very sympathetic to the view.
This is nothing to do with fundamentals anymore, and you have to decide if you are someone who enjoys the momentum and the trade. But let's all focus on the central banks, because the macro noise, you had some China noise there earlier about retail sales are up. That's mostly inflation, by the way, and the problem with pork, which we can probably go into some detail on. Fact of the matter is, China has been the arbiter of taste for the last 5 years, or 6 years, in terms of marginal growth. US has plugged on. It's done 2%. 2.5% GDP growth, and let's face it, the rest of the world has not done a lot if you look at the developed world. Japan and Europe barely contributing as they grey. So we have a year in which earnings have actually done nothing in the US, and the market's up 20%. Now, this time last year, I wrote a note quite happily saying, don't bother hibernating, get involved. You ask me a year later where you go, it is now entirely reversed again. We've gone out of tightening mode to loosening mode, immensely loose, with the Fed sitting there saying, rates on hold, but we'll just keep this little sort of repo thing going for a little bit longer. And Trump in the background going, keep going, keep going. Meanwhile, they'll spend the next 12 months telling you how phase 2 of the trade deal, a trade deal I noticed the Chinese haven't even bothered putting into any of their press, let alone putting it in writing, because it doesn't actually mean anything. Sorry, did I say that bit? So let's go. We're just going to keep managing this, because once we've got that trade deal, the whole world will be fine. Not reality. This was slowing down well before this trade deal started being the biggest issue. And how about we've just got a big debt mountain, maybe consumers are a bit tapped out, and it's going to be a bit slower. That's more consistent with perhaps where bonds are, and it certainly isn't consistent with the S&P 500 in every metric except the fiction that is EPS growth linked to the PE being 99th percentile expensive. So I think I've laid out my stall. It's insane, but it's going to carry on because the Fed is now absolutely in hock to what they've created, which is a monstrous beast of overinflated valuations. In the US, I hasten to add.
There is no logic to buying risk assets like equities other than to chase the gilded lily. Markets have nothing to do with fundamentals anymore. Right. So the markets are up. A lot of people suspect the markets will continue to go up and pump and pump and pump. This can't go on forever. I don't know about you, but I think Bitcoin, with its non-correlated asymmetrical nature, it's a good hedge against this. By the way, guys, welcome back everybody to Altcoin Daily, where you subscribe for our daily videos on everything going on with Bitcoin, crypto, the whole market. Let's get to some news. Rita Ora promotes Bitcoin on her Instagram. Now, you may not know this, but this is kind of a big deal. And the reason you probably don't know who Rita Ora is, it's because you're not young anymore, and you're going to have to face that eventually. But Rita Ora, I don't know who she was either. 15.7 million followers on Instagram. These are some of her pics. I'll show you her Bitcoin pic in just a second. But to get a little more specific, Rita Ora gained her fame and notoriety. She's an English singer, songwriter, and actress. She rose to prominence in February 2012 when she featured on DJ Fresh's single Hot Right Now, which reached #1 in the UK. Her debut studio album, Aura, released in August 2012, debuted at #1 in the United Kingdom. The album contains the UK #1 singles Rest in Peace and How We Do Party. Aura was the artist with the most #1 singles on the UK singles chart in 2012, with 3 singles reaching the top position. So she's kind of a big deal. And well, let me just show you the picture of her Bitcoin picture, which is making the crypto news. It's this right here, so it's just her face. At the time of the snapshot, this image got 71,000 likes. It's her with little Bitcoin stickers on her face. Now, I was searching through her Instagram for research purposes only, and I could not find this Bitcoin picture that she posted. And when I clicked on the link in this article, it says, sorry, this page isn't available. So I don't know why she took the picture down. I don't know if she has weak hands or what the deal is. But anyways, she has a peripheral knowledge on Bitcoin. And the larger picture is that Bitcoin is gaining more trust and awareness. More and more people are becoming aware. And I think as Bitcoin rises, more and more people are going to feel good about coming out as Bitcoiners. In other news, John McAfee is now 95% below where Bitcoin's price presumably should be if he is not going to have to eat his own member in 2021, right? Is it at the end of 2020? Yeah, it's at the beginning of 2021. He's now 95% below where he should be. So take that for what it is. John McAfee says 1 Bitcoin will be worth 1 million by the end of 2020. Is he losing this bet? Yeah. Okay. Next up. Do not fear, although John McAfee is going to lose his Bitcoin bet. Bitcoin's parabolic uptrend, which started January 2015, is still intact, nearly touching support again for the first time since March 2019, #BuyTheDip. So you can see here this support all the way back from 2015 to 16, 17 to 18 to 2019. We just touched it and bounced off of it. I wanted to try and create this line myself, and it does seem to fit where Bitcoin, it held support all the way back in 2015, 16, 17, again in 2018 and 19, and we just touched this support again. So we'll see if that holds up in the future. Do you guys think Bitcoin is closer to its local bottom, or do you think we still have farther to fall? We need to, we'll see. We'll see. I can't say one way or the other, but I'm hedging my bet that 2019 was a good year to invest in Bitcoin. All right, guys, that is it for me today. This is Aaron at Altcoin Daily. If you want to stick around for another couple of minutes, let's just see what's happening on our Instagram. Those of us who don't follow us on Instagram, you need to. And let me tell you why. It's for great tweets. Tweeted this out just 8 hours ago. Sorry, Moon Boys. Bitcoin has no chance of making a new all-time high until next decade. Did that trigger you? Triggered a lot of people until people realized the next decade is only about 11 days away. Going down further, I like this guy, Paul McNeil, known as the Crypto Curator. I follow him. He follows me. He's a Bitcoin evangelist, an aficionado, military veteran, friend, mentor, super connector. You get the idea. He's a big crypto guy. He often retweets videos that we do that he likes because he curates all of crypto, and we're added to his video section. Anyways, I like to retweet people who show us support or that I think are doing good things. For instance, I liked Rhythm Trader's tweet Well, Bitcoin has stabilized at almost exactly 7,000 a coin. I'm tired of waiting for a jump, so I'm taking the loss and getting my cash back. That's what somebody said when Bitcoin is $14. Well, Bitcoin is stabilized at almost 14. I'm tired of waiting. I'm cashing out. Okay. Banks said, don't buy Bitcoin. I bought anyway. Misbehaving. It's a good show. It's a good show. Uncut Gems, or no, Righteous Gemstones. That's what it's called. All right, guys. I will see you tomorrow.